And we live. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Watch Your Mouth Reviews. This is your boy James, where I am here to give you my honest review while trying to watch my mouth. It's not gonna happen this video. Leave it to the Sunday ladies to do that for me. But anyways, that's not why we're here. Let me go ahead and give a shout out to my co-host, Mrs. Bess, who's here with us live. Say what's up to her, y'all.
Hello, like, share, and subscribe. Can you hear me?
I can hear you just fine. Yep.
Oh, okay.
And you just
Hi.
typing away. I hear that too.
Oh, you hear my typing? I'm sorry, you guys. I am off camera. I am doing homework. I will mute it so you cannot hear. I am in finals, so I can't really avoid it. So I'm sorry.
Don't
I
worry.
didn't know you could hear me typing. I am so sorry.
Nice. Don't watch your mouth. Shout out to Naya. She's here with us. Shout out to Shani. She was here with us first. She always is. Shout out to DM Rocks, who is also in the building as well. Hey, in my opinion, Wendy should have kicked her mom out of her house. Oh, we'll get there. Trust me. Hey, Keywan, you guys make sure you subscribe to Keywan's channel, who also she does recaps on this show as well. My girl is funny as all hell, and I be up in here just rolling. She has kept me alive while I've been doing my homework as well. So I thank you, Keywan, for that. Subscribe to her channel. Be sure to tell James sent you. So yes, y'all, this episode was so they said a lot without saying a lot. Some of this was cringy. Some of this was like on my nerves. So I'm gonna try to be as nice as I possibly can. It's not gonna happen, but we'll live to fight another day. So, y'all, first things first. This whole Angel and getting evicted thing. I'm gonna need Angel to be quicker than this. I'm gonna need Angel to be quicker than this because Ashley just said Tia told Giselle that you had to leave your home. And instead of Angel talking around in circles, because I didn't understand what the fuck she was saying, she said, I would have said, Tia, why did you feel the need to tell everybody my business? And what I mean by everybody, Giselle, somebody who I'm not really feeling right now. Why would you feel the need to do that? Like, I was lost and confused because Ashley just said out her mouth, Tia told Giselle that you had to leave your home. And we're just trying to figure out what that was about. So Ashley then gets to the chase that we heard through the grapevines that the only reason why you were in your house was because you wanted to film the show. And in her confessional, Angel was like, do y'all really think I will come up here to film a show with Ashley, Giselle, and Wendy? And I'm looking at her like, yes. I mean, it's a check. Right? So, I don't know, y'all. Lord Jesus. I'm just looking at her like, it has to be like Angel. Come on, like y'all saying, Angel is not prepared.
The hiring.
Yes.
This is like who did this? Angel is boring, underwhelming, disappointing, frazzled, confused, unsure of herself, insecure, and postpartum. Who did this? And her husband not likable, and he looked like a roach. I don't understand why she is on the show, because we had that one scene with her where she was likable when Kay was away, and it's like she just never got her light back. If a bitch was questioning me publicly with my husband and kids after we just drove far to get somewhere about an eviction, we fighting with our words. I'm throwing food. I might growl. Like, this the one opportunity, in my opinion, that she would have had the right to turn up and cuss these heifers out. I don't get it.
I don't get it either. I'm sitting there looking at Angel like, first of all, my aim would have been at Tia. Because none of them would have known this had Tia not ran her mouth. Because you knew Kay wasn't going to say nothing. So first off, that's where my first thing would have went. And second of all, I would have read Ashley and Giselle for absolute filth. But Angel's not really about it, y'all. And that's what I don't get about her. I just don't understand. She's not for this show. I don't know why they did this. And none of that is entertaining, not a roach. With the flat round boulder head, like, sir and ma'am, are y'all okay? You know what, Nia? Yeah, exactly. Exactly. It is more than that. Him and Ralph got them. Lord Jesus. Naya.
I don't
So
like the shape of his head. I really don't, y'all. I was trying to be nice.
to me, everyone thinks he's cute. He's not cute to me.
He's not. He's not.
Like, if I had between him and Ralph, I'm choosing Ralph. And I don't even like Ralph. So that goes to show you what I think of him. So
Honestly, you might be safer with Ralph because Bobby give other vibes. I'm just saying, allegedly.
allegedly. So we then move on. Sharice walk her gripe ass up in there, and y'all know I can't stand Sharice for the life of me. I'm telling y'all, I can't stand Sharice. So Sharice walk up in there and walks up to Stacy. Stacy looking at us. Sharice like, yeah, hi. She goes, oh, is this the hubby, Stacy? Hi, I'm Sharice. And is this the baby? Hi, baby. And I'm looking at Sharice like, wow. Stacy, I would not have been mad if you didn't tell Sharice to take her old ass somewhere else. I wouldn't have introduced her to nobody. I'd be like, baby, come on, let's go get us a plate of food and lead this lady where she is. Because ain't no way in hell. Because wasn't you just talking about me, Sharice? Wasn't you just the one saying that I was all up trying to give us some married ass man at Giselle's party? Now you gonna walk up to me and trying to introduce yourself to my husband and my child? Oh, Sharice, you'd had the game all fucked up. When I tell y'all, I would have read Sharice for absolute filth. Because ain't no way in hell, like, to me, like, yeah, why are you smiling? Like, you weren't just talking about her? Sharice is hard up to be on the show. It's giving desperate. According to online, she said that she ain't trying to be on the show. I couldn't tell, but it is what it is. Mrs. Best, how would you have acted if Sharice came up to you and Mr. Best talking about, hi, I'm Sharice. Are you the husband?
I would have just turned my back and walked off.
Mm-hmm.
Come on, y'all. Let's go have some of this potato salad.
For real.
Let's get a piece of Wendy's Popeyes. We would have just walked away and needed food. I don't understand why they keep bringing Sharice and her dry wigs and weaves back to this show. She just looks lost in the face. I didn't understand her clothes. I'm tired of Sharice. I didn't like Sharice, though, season 1. I didn't like Sharice season 2. I didn't like Sharice season 3. I'm never going to like Sharice. I'm just not. I don't know why she keeps coming back. She doesn't really connect to anybody on the cast outside of Giselle, really. I mean, I get that Sharice is Potomac, but I don't understand how Potomac let that happen.
Yeah, no one likes Sharice. We're going to talk about that in a minute. Because that was some stupid shit. Yeah, everyone doesn't, no one likes Sharice. And Sharice did this to her damn self. So, Timo and Stacy walk up to Eddie and Wendy, and Stacy was saying that we're excited to get to know you guys as a couple. I brought Timo to extend this olive branch to y'all, and we're hoping that things get on the right track. But Timo got to leave. Timo got to go. Unfortunately, he did his time, and now he's gonna go. And according to production, he was only there for 32 minutes. And so Wendy goes up to Ashley and Giselle with her messy ass and said, oh, well, Timo just left. And they were like, why did he leave? Wendy said, I guess he's still not comfortable with the group. And Giselle's all like, why are we giving him special treatment? Yeah, and Ashley, yeah, why are we handling him with kid gloves? And I'm looking at them two, swollen face heifers. And I'm like, listen here, where the fuck are y'all mans at? Giselle, Ashley, where the fuck are y'all man at? Where's your man, Ashley? The one you broke up with because he couldn't match the income of Michael. Giselle, we're the football player that you hiding from the world because you don't want nobody in your business. Although you're on the show.
Did a recent interview claiming that her and Josh are now back together.
I bet they are. After everybody read her for absolute filth, I bet they are back together because the reason she left him was stupid in the first fucking place.
Black community need to cancel Ashley Darby. I actually think she's more dangerous than anybody that's been on this show.
Mm-hmm. After multiple seasons of Men and Husbands, I have been needlessly attacked on the show. Exactly. And it seems to come from them two heifers, them two right in the center. Hi, Kevin Reynolds. Thank you for being here. We appreciate you so much. He came, met everyone, then broke out. He got things to do. That man is, let me explain something to y'all. Thank you, Shani, for saying that. Because that man is busy. That man is the CEO of Audi. That man is busy. And he's recognized in what, Time and Forbes for being one of the top CEOs in the country and in the world.
And Audi acknowledged Stacey recently on the show, and they acknowledged her before she came on the show, wishing her good luck. So clearly, we looking at the first lady of Audi. There's a lot with Stacey's. When people have real money, they're not always going to be present. I think if you look at Housewives franchises across all of them, as well as reality shows across other networks, when there's real money, they not on camera like that. And if they are, it's not given much of a show. So I'm not surprised he had to go. I'm not surprised he's not interested. I feel like Stacey got him there just based on her explaining how important Wendy is to her. He don't give a damn about anything else of this show.
He don't. And that was very obvious. And I'm just like, I like it this way. Show you have a husband. Show he's willing to come on camera and support you to some capacity. And then he could toodle do, as Stacey would say. So, yeah. What are we talking about here? Charisse proposed the show cast to Bravo, so they might be allowing her to return because of that.
I believe that.
I can believe that to some extent, but I think the deed is well paid and Sharice can get the fuck on. So, yes, I think that deed has been paid already. That man said no thanks. We were shocked he decided to film in the first place. For him to attend a group scene as big, is Jamal coming? Exactly. Shut the fuck up, Wendy's mom. Hashtag Wendy's mom.
The hashtag is killing me, Naya.
Yeah. So they then decided to start, playing games, and Jackson shows up, which is Sharice's son. And Ashley immediately starts smiling and blushing. And I'm like, I know this heifer did not do what I think she did. So they flash back a scene to Sharice, Giselle, and Ashley having dinner. And Ashley tells Sharice that, when she had got drunk at Sharice's Crab Broil, Jackson drove her home. And when he was giving her key, their hands touched and they had a little smooch. And she was like, oh my God, I just can't believe this. I can't believe, girl, you got me sweating. You did what with my son? You did what? And Ashley says, now, would it bother you if more happened? And Ashley says it was just a kiss. It was just a smooch. I don't believe her. I don't bit more believe this. I believe Ashley gave it to that man that night. I believe it was, listen, I definitely believe more happened than just a kiss. I think they went the full-fledged. Mrs. Best, what do you think? Oh, she did? Oh, okay. Well, then, yeah. Then that's what it is. Okay, my assumption was correct.
Yeah, I would have assumed so. Just off the fact that ain't nobody letting no man in her house at a certain hour unless they want something from him. But it's kind of weird that she would go for her castmate's son. Ashley's gross to me. I don't get it. I understand some women being monogamous, living a life, libations, all of that, but I don't know. I'm just sick of her. She's just off-putting to me, but I'm sure she did. She seemed like a trifling trollop.
Ashley was groomed by her predator ex-husband.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Lord Jesus. I have to say allegedly on my channel. I cannot say that out loud without saying allegedly. He's too young. She has no boundaries, no morals. We know this. This is Ashley Naya. Come on. This little girl was raised by Sheila and her wig. Sheila, who lived in a damn tent with a man. There is no boundaries with this lady. There's no morals with this lady. There's
Married
none of
Michael
that.
Darby. That
Right.
in itself is tells you all you need to know. Oh,
Tells you
that's even
everything.
worse. I thought she said he came in to use her bathroom.
That's what I thought the story was too. So this was on more than one occasion. Because that's not the same lie she told in the episode that she said on Watch What Happens Live. She said on Watch What Happens Live, it was in Sharice's house. But in the episode, she said that he drove her home and it happened there. So it must have happened more than once.
Oh Lord.
And that's even worse. Because it's one thing if you did a one hit or quit, you needed some. It's a man available. I mean, as we say, she ain't got no morals or no ethics or anything about behind her. So hell, sex is sex to Ashley. So I'm sure, yeah. So if we're saying it happened in Sharice's house, it had to have been more than one time because I'm sure she did it with that boy in her house too. I'm sure that's what happened. She gets away with being a wench. Yeah. Yeah. She's white adjacent. You know, she passe blanc, as they say in, New Orleans. Your friend. That's what I'm like. There's no, like, I was with Stacy. There is no way I would admit that. There is no way I would admit that. Like, I would not even, like, I would take that to my grave. I would be so embarrassed because I know I'm going to see my friend at some point. There's no way. No worries, Kevin Reynolds. I got you. See why Karen didn't want her around her daughter back in the day? Yep. Yep. Although, if we're talking on the prospects of sexuality, I don't believe Ashley is bisexual. I don't believe that. I'm sorry. I believe Ashley likes to have fun in the gay community. I do think that she likes drag and everything like that. I can see that. I don't believe Ashley's bisexual. I know bisexual when I see it. Ashley's not bisexual. I think she's playing, and I think she's, spitting in the face of the LGBT community. I really do.
Yep. That's what she's been doing. That's why every time she talks about anything LGBT, she talks about sex. And there's so much more to that community than just sex and fun and parties and drinking. So
exactly. Sharice, you can't trust Stacey around husbands, but you can trust Ashley. Yeah, that's a good point, Shani. Yeah, Giselle. So is Ashley okay to be around children and people's husbands? She ain't, she's, not approved to mess around with her friend's son. Granted, he grown, but that's still too close to her comfort. Why the rules suddenly changing for Ashley? I can't stand these women on the show. I can't. I'll just delete this bullshit. She does, and that's, to me, that's insulting. That's insulting because we ain't never seen you date no woman on this show, but we seen you been with a slew of men. Okay. I think Ashley needs men for money and access. She flirts with women for validation has she actually dated a woman? Yeah, no, she hasn't. And I think that's why I'm saying this is some bullshit that she's cocked up. I don't believe the bisexuality thing. I just don't. Sorry. Yeah, sorry, Giselle. Oh, no worries. I got you. That shit pissed me off. Hot menopausal mess. Oop, not menopausal. Why is Ashley not speaking of an occurrence of 2 years ago? No storyline. That's interesting, Kevin. You know why that's interesting is because that shit did happen 2 seasons ago, and Sharice was here with us last season too. That shit could have easily had came out earlier. It is given no storyline, and at this point, I don't care that she hooked up with the little boy, with the young man. I don't care that she did because at the end of the day, it's Ashley. She in her hot girl era, divorcee. She, hot in the puss, so that's what she gonna do. But I feel like, to me, you could have just kept it to yourself. You really could have. But we're gonna move on, y'all. We spending way too much time. So they played the little games. Everything was fun. Yada yada yada. Mrs. Best, anything else you want to talk about this event? Because I'm gonna move on. Or am I missing something? Um No, we're gonna move on because I don't think I'm missing anything. If I missed something, y'all, I'm so sorry. It was so much going on in that little scene. Yeah. So the next thing we have is Tia. She in the house with her, her husband and her baby kids. And she's laying out chores for them to do because apparently these kids is nasty. They getting food and leaving it all out. Then they talking about, somebody kissing the mirror, leaving lip prints on it and everything. And Stacy says Tia was like, this needs to stop, Nathaniel, and this needs to stop. And I'm just looking at this scene like, girl, them kids is half asleep, half paying attention. Good luck with all of this. Them kids ain't gonna listen to a thing you say. They ain't gonna do no
They
chores.
all need their ass whooped. And I'm not saying it need to be like a rough beating or nothing, but they all need their ass whooped and their phones taken away for like a week or two. Because her kids, thank you, Keywan, her kids seem spoiled, disconnected, entitled, lazy, and hypersensitive and over emotional. And that they look like they have an insecure attachment to their parents, like a motherfucker. And every time we see a scene with them, it's like Tia coming in whenever she can to try and figure something out, and the husband just sitting there. Like, I don't think the method for what they have works the way she described it at first.
Mm-hmm.
Because if it worked, her kids would be a little bit more settled. None of them are
Mm.
settled. The girls always look irritated or like they have an attitude. Nathaniel, I personally would like to whoop his ass. The only one that seemed kind of mellow is the little boy with all the hair. But I don't know. I
Like the
couldn't
little
talk
boy
to my
with all the
parents like
hair.
that. If we was having a family meeting, I had to pay attention to what was said. I couldn't put my head down, none of that. I had to sit up, pay attention, all of that. I don't know. Her kids just seem bad.
Who do you think spoils them? Do you think it's Tia that spoils them, or do you think it's Rod that spoils them?
I think it's both of them because Tia said that she's not the mom that cares for carpooling and doing all that extra interaction. She's not using kids as a reason to sacrifice anything for herself, which tells me she's not around enough because all moms have to sacrifice something. And then the husband, based on that party and how the teenage daughter had to call the police because that Negro was nowhere to be found as teenage kids had a party get out of control. I just think he's absent running around with his boyfriend somewhere, allegedly. I don't think they're as present as they would like to seem with the kids. I feel like they also may put a lot on those girls. Oh, there's only one son. Whatever the hell. See, there's so many of them. I can't keep up. But I definitely don't think they're around them enough.
I agree 100%. So we then have we're gonna move on because that was all they really talked about. We then have this very odd scene with Angel and Bobby. They're still up in these people's house, packing up, getting ready to move, and they talk about going back to Colorado and how she is going to, book accommodations for the girls to come to Colorado. She says she don't want them in their house based on, everything that they've been going through, but she still wants to make this, a really great experience for them, fishing and all this kind of stuff. And I'm looking at her like, girl, that is not these kind of women, but okay. But it seems like it's going to be nice. I did Google her establishment. It looks very nice. So, shout out to Angel for that. Anything else you want to add, Mrs. Best? Okay, we gonna go ahead and.
Sorry.
No, you good. No, I get what you're doing because I'm about to do that after this live, so I totally get it.
I am so sorry.
No need to be sorry. Let me get my notes back out. Sorry, I put my notes away. Let me see. What else are we gonna talk about? Oh, I forgot to mention in Tia's scene that she's meeting up with her sister. Her sister is her half sister because the dad had a whole nother woman in Nigeria and had 2 more kids on the mama. And because of that, Tia just had a relationship with her sister after the father had passed away. So they were much older in life having a relationship. But she knew about the siblings when she was about 12. But her mama, had, I guess, had some bitterness. It's always these bitter ass mamas that be, inflicting their opinions and feelings onto you, which causes y'all not to have relationships with their siblings. We saw this happen with Candace. Seasons ago when Candace got married, how the mama didn't want this the baby that the father had on her to come to the wedding, which I thought was ridiculous and stupid. That is just crazy. But yeah, I forgot to mention a little part in that scene because that plays a part later on. So the next thing we're going to talk about is Wendy. Wendy decides to call her father because she still is yearning for this relationship with him. So, she calls him. The phone call was very sweet and simple, and she decides to FaceTime him, and he picks up. Very handsome guy, looks exactly like Wendy, looks exactly like her father. I was like, oh, okay. I definitely see what you look like now. And then, he wants to see Eddie. So, he looks at Eddie, goes, hey, there's my guy and everything. She says that she needs to have this conversation and let her mom know that she did talk to her father. And also, their house was fully renovated. It was beautiful. I will say that was money well spent. I'm just going to say it just like that. That was money well spent. Mrs. Best, how did you feel about the renovations and Wendy reconnecting with her father?
The renovations look nice. The house looked beautiful, but knowing what we know now, I just want to say to everybody, it's okay to live within your means. I'll be broke as hell, smiling in pictures with my EBT card, thanking the government before I break a crime and commit whatever the fuck. I'm not built for jail. I'm not that strong. I'm not going back. So there's that. But the house was beautiful. As for her connecting with her dad, right. Whose money, Lexi? That last comment, whose money? Because that's all I was thinking, because it is not cheap to renovate. And she got it done in 2 months too, which means she got the good people. Because the good ones, they move quick. Nope. But I don't know. Wendy's conversation with her dad, it didn't surprise me. That's how old Nigerian men are. It seemed like he don't really want to go over the past. He just wants to move forward. And Wendy seems willing to accept that. At first, I thought the storyline was kind of bullshit. I'm not going to lie to you. But after seeing her interact with her dad, you can tell there's some distance and awkwardness there. I don't know. I can't say too much. I really want to comment on her mama and read that wench for filth. So
we getting there. Trust me, I can't wait to get there too. We then have a scene with Giselle. The National Brain Tumor Association was able to raise $1.2 million from Giselle's last event. Congratulations are in order. Thank you, Giselle, for using your philanthropy to raise money for this awareness. Anything else you want to add, Mrs. Best? Anything you want to add, Mrs. Best, to this? Because I'm going to move on.
Hell no.
Okay, we're going to move on then. So we then have the next scene, which is a scene with Kay. She is officially moving back into Greg's house. She's excited. They have been there before. She said,
Call.
I came with you. Anyways,
the bird has landed. The angry bird has landed in her nest.
So, I can't with you. But she up in there, she like, so, how's it going to be this time? Is it going to be different? He goes, oh yeah, everything's going to be different. I'm always going to be me and, just have my name everywhere and everything. And she go, hey, yeah, I know that's right, great. And I'm looking at her like, big dumbass. Anyways, so they sit down and they start talking about, the future. And she goes, I know I have my condo. It's in my name. This house is in your name. So, he goes, yeah, if we get married, we're going to move in 5 years. She go, wait, if, great, if. If you don't mean if, when are we gonna get married? He goes, when? Oh, he goes, yeah, when? I don't know about when. I'm not talking about when, Greg. I'm saying you said if. I'm saying when we get married. I said, Kiana, he said it right the first time. What the fuck don't you get about a man's word? He said if. He said if we get married. And what Naya said here, he meant that's exactly what the fuck he meant. What are you not seeing or what are you not hearing? See, I be wanting to root for you, but you do stupid shit like this. You say stupid shit like this and you think stupid shit like this. And just to prove how stupid he thinks you is, he gonna get your present. He put his present in one of them U-Haul boxes and says, open it. And she got, oh, and it was some red rose. She got, oh, you got me roses, girl. You know, roses is my favorite grade. Roses. And then and then it was a bag from the jeweler that he went to go look at engagement rings with. And she said, oh, yeah, I know where this is from. Oh, my goodness. So she excited. She opened it. And when she opens it, it was a gold picture frame. She goes, oh, that's what's up. Yeah, yeah. And I'm looking at her like, Kiana, it's okay. It's okay. This is okay. You ain't got to spice it up for us in the audience and the viewing public. You don't have to spice it up for us. We know your face was cracked when you saw that picture frame because I would have said, what the fuck is this for? And don't be playing with me when we on national TV. When I tell y'all I had first-hand embarrassment, not even second-hand embarrassment, I thought I was there looking at that shit because there's no fucking way you would play with me like this. There's no fucking way. I would have got my shit and I would have got the fuck on and went right back to my condo because you're not gonna play with me like that, y'all. The disrespect of that was absolutely insane. The fact that you got a bag from this jewelry company and then put a damn picture frame in a box. When I tell y'all I would have been gone, I mean, oh my God. Like, yeah, Bravo would have had a first 48 special. They just would have. Mrs. Best, how did you feel about Kiana and this whole scheme that Greg came up with to come with us with the bullshit?
This was worse than Chrissy proposing to Jim Jones all those years back.
Thank you. Oh my God.
This was maybe worse. All I'm gonna say, because I feel like I've dragged Kay for 12 weeks. And I'm a nice person. So I don't want to drag her no more. Never beg a man to marry you. And begging can come in different forms. You may not be on your knees begging the nigga to give you a ring, but hinting, moving out and getting a condo and insisting he pay for the condo or marry you, needing a timeline on marriage and then settling for a 5-year wait when you already have your ovaries on a schedule. All of those things, just don't beg people to marry you. It don't matter if you're a man or a woman. If somebody wants to marry you, they'll do it. But especially when you're in a heterosexual relationship, women, do not beg the man to marry you. If he wants to marry you, he will figure that out and he will propose, however that looks. It's that simple. I just keep hearing Kay earlier in the season, my man, my condo, my this, my that. And it's like, oh man, no more condo. Now you got to pay for it and not live in it. No ring. You got a picture frame and a jewelry box. And he's an LCSW, so it makes it worse because he's trained in all of this and he knows how the shit looks and he just don't care. He just does not care.
I'm insulted for her. Like I'm
not insulted for her because the way that she acts, like the stuff that she was saying, even before we didn't like Kay, when we first got introduced to her as a full-time housewife and Greg in the last season, she said stuff that was very, very concerning, such as he knows that after 3 years, I want to get married and all of this. Whenever women go into shit with timelines, it's usually not good because you're more focused on the timeline than you are on the connection and the person. There's no connection. Why didn't they show him buying a ring, but then show him buying a picture frame? I want to see the footage that Bravo had of him getting the picture frame. Because it's either some bullshit, the storyline, or he really just don't like this lady that much, but want to keep hitting it. So gave her some roses in the frame.
Well, to me, it's psychological games. And the fact that no disrespect to my Sagittarius men out there, no disrespect to you. But, some of y'all, and you know who is a great prime example of this?
Oh, Lord.
Lil Fizz. Some of y'all have this kind of energy where y'all like to play with women in a situation of where they want to be serious with you, but you like to play with them, and you do it by playing mind games with the public. The problem with that, though, is that not everybody is fucking stupid. But the women y'all usually end up with, they usually fall for that stupid shit. There's no way, sir, that you would play with me like this, and I wouldn't have raised all kind of hell.
I'm reading the comments. Y'all ain't shit. I say that with love. Y'all ain't shit. Because how many people not drag her? And I seen it more than once.
Oh, yeah. They want you to drag her. No, I don't even want to drag Kay like this, because to me, this is a part of it. This is a part of it here. I'm going to say it like this. This is a part of it here. But another part of it is him, too. I feel like, to me, why waste this woman's time? Like, and Kay, listen to your mom and stop being so fucking dumb. Listen to your mama.
Kay, where is your real man?
Oh, where's your real man? I wasn't even gonna go there.
Where is your real man? I do not believe a picture frame. This Negro went on national television, looked at a ring, pulled out his credit card, and said, "Nah, but let me get that frame." Ain't no way in hell. Where's your real man? Because the way Kay acted, she went from chin checking to fighting Deborah to being a sweet innocent victim to bullying Stacey. Kay is all over the place. I feel like she got another nigga hidden somewhere.
Probably.
I would have to. I couldn't look at Greg. And after the picture frame, I'd have both side niggas. You're not gonna give me a picture frame when I want a fucking ring. No.
Yo, that was crazy. That was a crazy ass scene. So I'm gonna go ahead and get to the last part. I'm gonna skip 2 scenes. Stacey with Timo. We knew he was back home, so there was no surprise and nothing that I don't care about, them never really breaking up, if we could say that. I know they got divorced. I understand that. But for the sake of Arbella, we know that he's back in the house. Congratulations, Stacey. I love it. The another scene I'm going to skip is Tia and her sister. I thought it was a phenomenal story. I thought it was something that I'm glad that they were able to, see the good in this versus, saying that we lost time. I'm glad that they're starting from now. Beautiful story. Sister is absolutely stunning. All of her siblings are beautiful. All of them. Every single last one of them. So, yes. Now that I've mentioned those 2 scenes, is there anything you want to add, Mrs. Best, before I move on to the last part?
No.
Okay. So now we get to the scene with Wendy, her mama, her sister with that head, and the kids and Eddie. So Wendy is showing her mom and her sister the renovations, and Miss Susan talking about, "Oh, everything looks so nice, Wendy. Oh my goodness, you paid a lot of money for this, Wendy, didn't you?" And I'm like, if y'all don't stop, get out of Wendy's pockets. Y'all is not making this easy for her this season. Everybody got you know what, you and Keywan on timeout. Did you know Ivy's has kids and a foot doctor? Yes, I did know that. I'm just not a fan of her. Just not. But Lord Jesus. So Wendy sits them down and she tells them that, she called her father. And Ivy says to Wendy, she says, listen, like, I don't want you to be in your feelings and hell bent on these moments and everything. Like, I don't want you to expect the most out of this man. And Miss Susan couldn't wait to throw her lick in. She goes, he wasn't there. He was a sperm donor. He was not there for her. I did this. I raised her. I raised her. He did nothing. He just sat there. And I had to work 4 jobs to pay for her school and everything. So Wendy said, hold on, mama, before you go any further, let me get my kids out of here because I don't need them to hear this. And Priscilla said, don't disrespect me like that. Don't put your finger up on me. She goes, no, we're not going to do this. My kids need to go upstairs. You're not going to have no moment like this. And that's what you want. And so Miss Susan said, you're disrespectful, you're ungrateful, you're disrespectful. That man don't care nothing about this. He never even seen these grandchildren before. He never seen them before, never laid eyes on them, nothing. And he was nothing. And because y'all, I'm trying. I tried to take this scene seriously, but I could not. Looking at Miss Susan standing up and sitting back down, raising her voice, calling Wendy's name, like calling her names, telling her she needed to shut the fuck up. It was so much disrespect in one little scene. So much disrespect in one little scene that I was just like, oh wow. So as Wendy is saying, I don't want a moment, and she's, in her film, she's getting emotional. Miss Susan's like, oh, look at her cry. Look at her cry. She has her attention seeking disorder on now. She has her, and then Wendy's like, see, I can't even talk to her. I can't do this. I can't, go for it. And Wendy was like, Eddie needs to come out how. And when Eddie first came out, she go, are you going to defend your wife? Is this what you doing? Is you defending your wife? And he goes, no, I'm just here to talk. I'm here to smooth things out. I'm here. She goes, you need to talk to your wife. She's disrespectful. Disrespectful talking about her father. Disrespectful. And once again, I'm like, damn, Eddie gonna catch a straight for, supporting his wife. Because let me explain something to y'all. And let me be very clear. If I'm into it with my mama, my husband's not getting into this. My husband's gonna sit on the couch, look at us raise hell, wait till the shit calm down, walk my mama outside to her car, tell her he love her, leave, and then gonna come home and do what the fuck he gonna do and leave me alone. That's what's gonna happen. So for Wendy's mom to be like, you see, Eddie, she does this. It was like, that's so like you're putting him in the middle. And that's her fucking husband. Like, I didn't like that at all. I didn't like Ivy putting in her 2 cents, talking about, well, you are disrespecting mom, when there was a point in this conversation where Ivy told her mama to raise her voice too, raise her voice, put her voice down. So I said, so Ivy, what's the difference in Wendy saying, hey, hold on, let me excuse my kids real quick so they don't have to hear this, versus you saying, mama, bring your voice down? Wasn't that disrespect too, or am I tripping? Y'all let me know in the comments. Wasn't Ivy disrespect her mama too by telling her to bring her voice down? Ain't that disrespect too? Okay then. So Wendy says that it's always 2 against 1. It's always been like this. That's why she yearns for that relationship from her father, because it seems like the mom and Ivy always tag team on her. So Miss Susan gets had enough. She walks out. She says some things in their native tongue that I could not understand. It was a lot going on. So I'm gonna let Mrs. Best go first of how she feels about it, and then I'm gonna go next.
I did understand what she said in her native tongue, and it was incredibly disrespectful. That is all I will say. Um, Other things I will say is I've had arguments with my mom in front of my husband. He doesn't get involved. So I do agree with Mary. I don't think your mom should be ever allowed to yell at you that way, because parental figures don't get the right to disrespect us, and that's an important thing to remember. However, unless something's getting overly physical or overly emotional, I don't think it's necessary for the husband to step in. But the way the mom called him in, it seems like they use Eddie as a buffer or a mediator before in this family. So I felt like that's why that was happening. But Ain't no way in hell anybody gonna come in my fucking house and disrespect me like that when I pay the rent and I pay the mortgage and I gotta pay for the kids and the people in it. And for you to get that upset because I don't want you to speak negatively about the kid's grandfather in front of the kids is crazy. But Wendy's mom does what a lot of moms do that they sometimes don't want to admit. It's not all moms, but a lot of moms do this. Just because your man wasn't there for your kids, you have a right to be angry. You have every right to be angry. What you don't have a right to do is expect the child involved to choose sides, even when they're an adult. So it's not Wendy's fault. It's just not. You chose to lay down with that man, and he turned out to not be shit. And then you laid down with him again because you got 2 kids by him. So I don't know what to say to Wendy's mom, but you over here in America living your best life, getting lighter and lighter season after season with yellow foundation. And why are you tripping over a man that's in Nigeria that if Wendy does have a relationship with, it doesn't impact you because he's across the world. There's different time zones. Like, she's probably not going to see him that often. What is the big damn deal? But her mom's probably not ever going to see it her way. And you could tell that Wendy's sister is the kid that kind of aligns with the mom and goes for, it's just there's always a sibling that stays on the parent side, and then there's always a sibling that wants to know both parents. But I don't know. I feel like Wendy's mom is always cussing her out like this. The lady is volatile.
Here's the thing. I understood. Listen, before I go, because a lot of y'all not gonna understand me when I say this, so I'm gonna try to, be politically correct first. What I'm going to say is that I understand where Miss Susan is coming from. I understand, having children with somebody, they don't step up to the plate and then they abandon you and you live with the resentment and abandonment. I totally understand her 110%. But the problem is that Wendy is in her 40s. So at some point in the 40 years, I don't know how old Ivy is, but in the 40 years that Wendy has been alive, you mean to tell me that you still are this angry and this mad about a man that you chose to have children with and to have married at one point? You are still angry about this man and whether or not your daughter has a relationship with him 40 years later, or however long it was since you divorced this man? You mean to tell me you still bitter about this? I don't understand this. I don't understand this overall when moms like Evelyn Braxton is a good example of this. Still angry at that daddy for some shit that didn't happen 30, 40 fucking years ago. When you done moved on with your life, according to you, you have all the good things. Wendy's still sending you money to your Cash App. I'm sure Ivy is sending you money to your Cash App. You living good. You got your grandchildren. You cooking meals for them every night. You have a good life. And you mad because your daughter wanted to reach out to her father and try to maintain some sense of communication, regardless if that's a relationship or just to say, hey.
I feel like the lady is materialistic based on her lightening her skin, expecting an allowance, throwing it in her face as she's watching her grandkids. I think that Wendy's mom is very materialistic. And I feel like Wendy talking to her dad is a threat that Wendy's money could be stretched further to go somewhere else. I genuinely feel like her mom is that shallow and may think that way. But again, Wendy will probably forgive her mama. She can't teach the old dog new tricks. If the bitch want to be bitter and angry, she's bitter and angry. It's probably the skin bleach and stuff going to her brain.
Maybe, because to me, I always feel like this. When people are this bitter and angry, there's usually more to the story that they don't want out. I always say this because to me, I never understand holding on to a grudge. And I've had to deal with this in my own personal life. And I'm just like, I don't understand holding a grudge so many years later and being this angry about something that happened. And as someone said here, I think it was Rose who said that this lady was married again. Yes, she's remarried and lived life and had another husband. So once again, you should encourage your children, regardless how fucked up the father was. You should encourage them to still want a relationship and still desire if the father is willing to have that same with them. You should never just yell and scream and put your cards on the table of what you did for Wendy, because to me that's unfair. Because now we're stepping into unfair categories now. You wanted her to become a doctor. You wanted her to do all of this. You decided to make the sacrifice and put her through it. Now don't come back years later, now that she's returned the favor, which is taking care of you. Now you want to throw that in her face. And I would have checkmated and I was like, and I'm taking care of you right now. Is that not what I'm doing today?
See, this is why I also don't like when housewives make their parents a storyline, because then if anybody asks about this at the reunion or has an opinion, it's going to be very difficult probably for Wendy to receive it and hear it. And I don't think her mama gonna change, but I genuinely think the mama is looking at her kids as who's going to take care of her. Because you ain't gonna be throwing it in my face the 4 jobs. I didn't ask to be here. Hell.
Right. And I didn't ask you to pay for college either. That seemed like something you was willing to do on your own.
I finished school.
Right. And got the degree.
Like Simone's kids and took the long route.
But not only got 1 degree, but got 4 of them. So yeah, like I don't know what else you want to expect out of that. Mary Duda, I'm not really speaking. I don't know if I know you on my channel yet, but hey, thank you for being here. I hope you subscribe to me. I'm not talking about this until I know the actual sentence or if they're even going to prison. I have not been talking about it just because it seems like the 2 times they have went to court, it's for some petty reason, either to reschedule the hearing date or to turn over financial records. It's not something that is full concrete yet. And I'm not going to talk about it because I feel like, one, they're handling this very sloppy. And 2, I'm not saying they didn't do it. I don't know. But my hope is that they beat the case for the sake of the children, of course, for the sake of their children, because nobody wants to be in a situation, even though what they did is wrong. If that's really what they did allegedly, I still want them to beat the case. I do. She did, and that's what I didn't like about that conversation. And I felt for Wendy because I could tell she does deal with this a lot. But we have seen Wendy on national TV cash out her mama money, talking about she get a weekly allowance. We've seen this all through TV. So for this lady to get this mad over some shit that really, because Wendy is grown, ain't got shit to do with you. Wendy didn't even have to tell you she reached out to her dad. Really, if you really want to know, she did that as a courtesy for your feelings, but obviously that didn't fucking matter because you still went off the deep end. So yeah, Wendy mom simply asks for food because the mom is where she will be. I do think it's that, but also I do think that it is like a sense of she doesn't want someone to take the credit of where she was able to afford her daughters with going to college and becoming doctors in their own successful rights. She didn't want no one else to take the credit, meaning their father. That's really what this is, a pride thing about Wendy and Ivy. This is a pride thing. This is, oh, look at my 2 doctor daughters that I sacrificed and worked 4 jobs to make sure they went to school and got their degrees and everything. This is all for show and tell points. That's all this is. And to me, I think that comes even off more disingenuous. I hate when parents do that because this is not a tally point system. Just because you were able to do it does not mean that at the same time that should be a big fuck you. I made it without you. I didn't need you. Your daughter still are successful with my care. That's all that this is. And I wish people would get that vendetta out of their minds. All right, I got you. I'm enjoying you. Thank you for being here so much. I appreciate you. But yeah, that was pretty much the episode, y'all. It was a lot. This episode was a lot. I'm not going to lie. This was probably one of the better episodes that they've had all season. Now, I don't know what this is going to turn into when it comes to Angel and this bullshit trip that she finna do, but I'm not here to see. I was looking at Monique and the Platts, and I was like, "Oh, see, I already know I'm about to get annoyed." Off topic, I heard Adrian Malouf might make a cameo on Housewives of Atlanta this upcoming season because of Cynthia. Why?
That's so random. That's like the most random thing ever. That's more random than Sharice's outfit when talking to Stacey. She killed me when she said, "Here comes Sharice in her lingerie."
All they're gonna do is bully Angel about this trip. Oh yeah, and I'm not here for it. I'm really not. But this is where I need Angel to do what she's doing in today's time. I needed her to do what she's doing today. I need her to do that then, and I need her to apply it to the correct people, i.e., Giselle and Ashley, because she has no problem coming after Wendy. So yeah, but that is odd though. First of all, where has Adrian Malouf been all this time? That's such a random. I don't know if I'm looking forward. I hope they don't. I really hope DM rocks for people's sake. I hope they don't play her scene and just keep it as an excerpt. Because that is odd. That is very strange. We need to get the Karen episode ASAP because we still so far off.
We need a reboot because these ladies are set in their ways. Keep Stacey, keep Wendy, maybe keep Tia, and get rid of everybody else.
I agree with that. I actually agree with that 100%. Stacey because she kept the show interesting. Wendy because we want to see what happens on the aftermath. And with Tia, I feel like she's messy enough to keep on the show. Because
she's messy on the low, and I think if she stays on television long enough with a less messy and calculated cast, that we would be able to see it. Not bring back regular Robin.
Yeah. Just because, child.
I love that she called the regular Robin is a damn shame. When you got to be called regular, damn. Poor Robin. I know she's probably looking at Juan, bringing people laundry from room to room.
If she looking at Juan, but that ain't none of my business because I don't care. I didn't care one way. She really thought she had something. Lord Jesus, let her live in her Deluluville. Let Robin live there, baby, because I'm telling you, she got it on site. He sure does. Shout out to Kempire. We love Kempire on this channel. But that was pretty much it. And he don't want her. Anyways, y'all. Before we go off, that is what you call being indebted to somebody. That's what that is. That is being indebted to somebody. That will look like love, but really what it is some underlying loyalty that you always keep because you realize your life may not have been the same had that person not interfered. That's all that is. That is nothing more, nothing less. And people confuse that as love all the fucking time. They do. People confuse that as love all the fucking time. And I genuinely pray for those people. I do. I genuinely pray for those people because that is such a form of narcissism and manipulation unintentionally, by the way. I'm not saying that that's annoying. But Angel can she sure can. And I can't wait for her to, I hope she don't come. Something tells me she will. Like I have a strong feeling Angel will come back next season, but I'm hoping that this is her one and done. I really do. But that's it, you guys. This was once again a good episode. I had fun in this live. Thank you, Mrs. Best, for being here. She and I both got homework to do right now, so I'm actually going to get off this live so I can start mine. And I will see you guys the next time we will be live on my channel. Will be after the holidays, I believe. I don't think I have any live scheduled for this upcoming week. I don't think I have any Housewives of Salt Lake City. So I thank you guys for all being here. This was very much a good time. And I will see you guys on my next live. Merry Christmas. If I do not see you guys for the new year, happy new year. Guys, set your intentions, do your vision boards. We making it big in 2026 because we ain't got no other choice. Have a good one, y'all. Have a great one. Bye-bye.